I'll be honest, free. Take a chance on me. If you need me, let me know. I'll be around.
Trump dance.
Place to go when you're feeling down. If you're on take a chance on me. Wanna be my very best, but it ain't no lie. If you put me to the test, if you let me try, take a chance on me. Take a chance on me.
Oh, well, I guess we're ready to start. So, hey, everybody, I'm the producer, Docg, for Chance's Chat. Welcome to the show. Everything is for entertainment purposes only, but it may not be. Welcome, Chance and his group.
Yeah. Wow, this has been a nutty day. And I swore to God I wasn't going to go out of the house because we got 12 inches of snow 2 days ago. But the sun came out, started to melt it off, but I had to take my grandson to the his first day at his new job working at the animal shelter. Good job. He says he got to pet all the puppies and did a lot of cleaning and laundry and stuff. It was cool. And so I got to do it all over again tomorrow. So I guess my day starts at about 7 a.m. So anyway, I'm Chance McFadden, and you know who you are. And we have a special guest with the fascinating Brian, Debbie Stevens, and me, and that's Mr. Magic Jeff. If you don't know Mr. Magic Jeff, it's okay, because he's my friend, and he called me up today, and he says, dude, I got some incredible news for you. And I said, wow. And I listened to it, and I was driving, and I understood it all, but I didn't think hi, Bernadette. I didn't think I would remember it all in the order that he was saying, and he did a really good job. And I said, man, just come on the show tonight and tell everybody, because it's really important. And I'll get you set up for it now, Jeff. You see, everybody's seen the video of the fall of the cabal. They're getting the idea of that we've already won. Okay. But there's other things that led up to it that I wasn't aware of. And Jeff kindly informed me about it today. So I am going to just turn it over to Jeff. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Magic Jeff's going to tell you all about the real fall of the cabal.
Well, first of all, hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. The story I'm going to share tonight is a little bit of a combination from a spiritual perspective, but it's also very tied to the topic of abundance in our financial system, and of course, the cabal letting go of all the control they've had over the financial system. So I want to start off by sharing that a very, very significant event has happened for our planet and for all of the multiverse. A few months ago, we have been in what's called the Age of the Dark. And that's where all the dark entities have been in charge. And under the Age of the Dark, all the dark entities get about 80% of the light and energy from source. So us light people, we're only getting 20%. So it was not such an easy route for us. But we've been going through all of this. So we know what it's like because we've already experienced it. But we may not have realized that so much of our energy from source was either blocked or taken from us and so forth. So we basically have been living without all the energy we could have from source. So anyway, God made the decision, and this was just God's decision that God made on his own and just, of course, made some changes in the universe. And what he decided to do, he decided to change from the age of dark, and he had a choice. He could have gone to a neutral age, and that would be where the dark gets 50% of the energy from source and where the light people get 50% of energy from the source. But he didn't do that. He skipped over that. He went all the way directly to the age of light, which is also known as the golden age. So we are now already in the age of the light, which means we are quickly going towards a situation where we can receive 100% of the energy from God. And we will learn little by little what that's like. But that's already on its way, and it's already happening. So having said that, something very, very significant happened a couple of days ago. And I think on this show, Chance has probably already touched on this topic, but a lot of us on this show probably already know that when we were born, our birth certificates were used, and it was used battle. They were pledged to the cabal, and we got about $100 million bond that was used for each of us to be pledged to the cabal. That's how much we were worth, and that's what was being traded, by the cabal with all their kind of trading and so forth. But something else happened recently, and I'm sure you're all familiar with the name of the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds have owned the SWIFT system all this time. They created it, they have the ownership, the patent, and so forth. So in the SWIFT system, a lot of people might not know this, but if you transfer a large amount of money in the SWIFT system, and I'm talking like $500 million, billion, $3 billion, $4 billion, whatever, larger amounts. If we transferred, $100,000, they wouldn't even bother with that. They would just put the transfer through. But if you're transferring a lot of money in the billions, they often take a long time for the transaction to be completed, like weeks. So imagine, as we know, just what credit card companies do. They have a lot of money in float, and they have that money to use. Well, the Rothschilds did the same thing with SWIFT system. All that money that was being transferred, that they were delaying, they were using to trade on the markets. And collateral that they had for doing this was all of us wonderful people on this planet. In other words, each of us that is a being of God, that has the God spark, we have a tremendous amount of energy because we take in the God energy and we can emanate it out from ourselves. Well, the Cabal can't do that. The dark beings cannot receive any energy from source directly. Okay, they can't do that. They don't have the ability. They don't have the ability to, from their thoughts, they cannot manifest. So there's things that they can't do. So they use us all humans on the planet for our energy. They consider us wonderful little batteries that they can take our energy. They take our energy, and of course, they love to have us look very, very depressing and full of fear, and they take that energy, and that's low frequency energy, and that goes into a big gathering, a big place. They call that loosh, and they can sell that throughout the universe. They're trading. So basically, they all use us for our energy. Well, good news, because God decided very recently that we no longer can be used as collateral for their trading in the SWIFT system. Well, in the brokerage world, when you have collateral and you're borrowing money from a broker to do some investing, if your collateral loses its value or becomes much less in value, you get something what's called a margin call, which means you have to come up with more collateral. Okay, well, you can imagine of the billions of souls in this planet, they've lost, or the Rothschilds specifically have lost all of us as collateral. Obviously, they're not going to be able to replace that. So they're in big trouble. Now, you can imagine something that large affecting the financial system of the world. It's huge. So the financial system and the world, all those leaders and so forth that are trying to fix it and hold it together, and the cabal trying to maintain control over us, keep us as slaves, they realized they lost the control over us. They realized their slave system has really fallen apart. So it's hitting them in two ways. Number one, the cabal loves to have control. They've lost control. It's beyond devastating for them to lose control of us because remember, they don't have the God spark. They cannot be happy from any kind of energy within them. So they're freaking out right now. Plus, they lost the collateral. So there's a tremendous hit to the financial system. So this just happened. It started kind of on Sunday night. It kind of really hit last night, big time. And today, there was kind of 15 nations getting together today talking about the situation. And they're very, very, they're just freaking out. Let's put it that way. So we're going to have to see how this all unfolds. But I am told something somewhat comfortable that even if the was a crash in the stock markets and in the financial system, the banks and so forth. I'm told that our currency and all the currencies of all countries are actually going to be protected, and they're going to keep their value. So basically, we the people are going to be helped out through this. We're not going to crash. Each of us, our currency we have is not going to lose its value. So keep that in mind, that in this time of Armageddon, the Armageddon is for the cabal. It's not for us. So keep in mind, when you see things crashing and this and that, it's always meant for the cabal to crash, not we the people. So we will get through this, whatever happens, but it's just a heads up that something that the cabal is taking a huge hit right now. It's beyond words. It's just gigantic and devastating to them. So God is very much controlling things behind the scenes. God is very much helping us to go towards the golden asset-backed financial system. That's happening. That's already happened, by the way. We're certainly going to get more and more news and confirmation of that. So that's a good thing, mostly because the fact that that's happened, that means the cabal CBDC system is not going to happen. So all the white hats and light workers and God have all already accomplished the new financial system. We've already made it. We're already there. And of course, we'll start learning about it and how to use it and how the new accounts will be and how to access them and so forth. And I just want to remind everybody watching this show, everybody is here to play an important part at this time. Earth is going through complete changes. Earth is raising to a higher frequency. Earth is ascending from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. Those of us on the planet, we have an opportunity, of course, to ascend to, fourth and fifth dimensions, whatever is meant for us on our soul path. So I just want to remind everyone that we were all here for a very specific reason, to be here at this time in what's taking place on Earth. So whatever you feel to say, whatever you are guided by your intuition to say or do it. This is what you're meant here to do. And everybody has something significant, even if it's a little piece. Boy, little pieces sometimes are very, very important when we're doing a big project, this Ascension project on Earth. So just want to remind everybody, you're all very special. You all were very specific, created spirits by God in a very certain way with certain characteristics. God does not make mistakes. He makes all the spirits perfect. So we all are more than we realize. So everybody, be brave, have faith in yourself, and, try to keep alert to signs in your life, to what your dreams are telling you. Try to find out the meaning of the message or the dreams, and have the courage to go forward and do your part, because this is an amazing time on Earth. It's been billions, and I mean not millions, billions of years that the age of dark was present in this multiverse. We are here at an historic time. Everyone in the universe is experiencing this historic event. We're changing from the age of the dark to the age of the light. This is our time, and things are going to be increasingly more exciting. They're going to be more interesting. There's going to be more magic in our lives. This is coming, and those of us who can take the time to align ourselves with this possibility, you're going to receive it, and everybody's going to have an amazing life starting now. Going forward, this is going to be a very different experience on Earth than we're used to. Remember, it started a few months ago, so this is starting to get a lot more momentum now. So it's a great time to be here. So, Brian, do you have anything to share on this topic? I'm sure you know plenty.
No, I can agree with what you're saying, and it is the end of controlled opposition, because that's exactly what we're all kind of dealing with. And it's not just this world. There are others. There are other layers to it. And Jeff's not wrong. We just kind of have to sit back and be patient a little bit longer and know that there's a lot of different ideas in groups and identities that wish to change it their way. But in the end, Source has already told them when he sent the seraphim and other angelics and more archangels to kind of come and take over. So you don't really need to pay attention to any more of the psyops. And later on, I'll give our wonderful cable guys and pretenders and all the bad people some news. And it's news that they're not going to like, because there is no other word or choice but sources. So they don't get to carry on anymore. And I'll kind of leave it at that for now.
Well, thank you for that, Brian. It's exciting times. But guys, I'm a little under the weather. Got a lot of discomfort in my throat, so I'm going to jump off now. Let you guys continue, and I'll jump back on as a listener. So thank you,
Okay,
guys.
brother. We appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing that with everybody. That opens up a lot of people's minds and gets them in a direction of a different horizon. So I'm very grateful that you came on today, Magic Jeff.
Well, thank you for having me on, and thank you guys for all having me on as well. And it's good to meet you and know you. And I'll hopefully I'll see you guys again. Good night.
You will. Okay. Blessings, brother.
Thanks.
Take care.
Yep, thank you.
So there's an interesting perspective from a very intelligent and learned man. And I guess before we go any further, I guess I should probably do this. I have on my phone the up to the minute recreational vehicle. What's the source of his information? He has many sources. He's Magic Jeff researches probably, if I had to guess, 8 to 10 hours a day. He just comes up with some amazing stuff. We compare notes a lot of times, and we're pretty much on the same page as far as a belief system. So, as far as one specific source, it would be impossible to nail down. Okay. I hope that answers your question, Roy. Okay. Now here comes the recreational vehicle update. Yesterday morning, RC leaders and managers, banks in at least one area and throughout the United States, they entered the access codes and sent them to the Treasury, and that was around 11:30 noon. So the banks and the RCs, the bank leaders, managers, all put in their codes, and now they need to be given the green light to proceed and send the emails to us at the Tier 4B to arrange our appointments and our exchanges. That's how they are done. And now it's up to the Treasury to give that green light. That's where we are, and we move on to the bondholders. Some have received emails, and some are still waiting for emails. I think most should have them tonight and access your accounts. Access 10% and then the rest in 90 days. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. But Debbie got some information today on how many redemption centers there are in the United States. Debbie, what could you share with us tonight?
7,000.
Wow.
7,000 centers, and it's all going to be divided up. The NSA has all the information, and they're basically give you 12 days to get all after you get done. they're going to basically ask for, where is your zip code that you're at right now? And then you'll tell them, and then they're going to tell you where to go, set it up. Put on a sweater. You might be cold when you get in there. There'll be a police officer that will meet you, a security person that will meet you at the door, possibly to the NDA. So have that ready to go. Also have your bank account with you, the numbers on your bank account, or else have a check from it. If you have the trust account, make sure you have that. If you only have your debit card, I suppose that will work also. So I just have that to back you, make sure you back yourself up on that. What else was it? I don't know if there's anything else. Oh yeah, there's one other thing. I don't know how I was presented. What was the meaning of Daniel in the Bible? Your heart. So if you get that question asked, that means heart. So then, I guess they'll pick out whether or not you're good, bad, throw you out, or whatever. So just hang in there a little bit more, everybody. You can do it. We're all doing it.
You're also going to need, I've already provided all this information that you're going to need in the RV protocol papers, which you can still order. 319-561-0064 for Cash App or Zelle. I can send them out to you on email. Make sure I have your email address, and we'll send them right out to you. But you are going to need different forms of ID. They say 2 picture IDs, but I don't have 2. Well, I kind of do, but I don't. So your birth certificate. I've got a certified birth certificate. And your heart, your heart. If your heart isn't right, the med beds won't work. And if your heart isn't right, you're not going to go through.
They're going to know.
Yeah, they're going to know.
You're going to go.
As a human that's telepathic, that's going to know.
That's right.
That's why. So think about it. 7,000 locations. That's not very many. And that's because...
No, it's not. And to have that many people come through in that quick of a time, wow.
In a half-hour time, wow.
And it's going to be quick because one will be looking at you, peering deep within you, reading you, and then... Trust me, they'll know. Like, you'll be surprised. It may be quicker than you think, especially if you're escorted with pretty jewelry, And I'm not even kidding.
I know.
Yeah, it's going to be funny. Not funny for them.
No.
So I'm telling that to those that I've already seen that happen to.
Oh, I know what the other thing was. And when you leave, whoever you see the last person, you cannot tell anyone who the last person was that you've seen. Period. Just forget your whole episode. So I would say that whoever you're going to put on your NDA, make sure that they're not going to talk anything. I mean, if you've got a husband, you've got to swear them to secrecy. And I don't know if they'll believe that or not, if they're not on the same page with you.
I'll tell you what I would do, Deb. I'd just keep my mouth shut for 90 days.
Yeah, just don't tell them.
Yeah, me too.
The grandkids, and the family are going to be the first ones to stab you in the back. Okay.
Don't say anything.
So,
yeah.
I know there's going to be people trying to get a hold of me and wanting answers and questions and help with legal stuff. Yeah, I'm glad to do it after 90 days.
That's right.
After my 90 days is over, in the meantime, I will have a lady to take care of all that, forward calls and messages. But I'm going to go pretty much silent, except for about the group of 10 people, and I will be doing my show. It will be a music show, and we're probably going to have some performers on here. It'll be the same show. It's just a different subject. And
Cool.
I've got a lot to share in the music, because that's really what I am. I'm a pop rock country musician. Okay, I've done it all. I've even played a lot of jazz. I played with Nelson Riddle Orchestra. I played with some local jazz bands and trios and quartets, and so I mean I could play anything for you from Inagata Davida to Take Five by Dave Brubeck and everything in between. So that's I've done it. And guess what? I'm not done doing it. I'm going to do it again. And but as a humanitarian, we're going to have a responsibility to create jobs. This isn't about going out and buying yourself a new house. I like my house. I'll put a new roof on it. I'll put new windows on it to get some new floors. Rock and roll. I like my house. It's odd. It's an odd house. If you've ever been through here, it was made in sections, and the guy that made it was a character. And this is the old Bergthold house in Fort Madison, and he was a character and a hard worker, and he built this house. Started the family built it in 1865, and then they just kept adding on to it. So it's kind of like a quilt of many colors, as far as the house goes, but it feels like home. And that's why I bought it back. We bought it once and we lost it because we couldn't pay for it. And then when I got my inheritance, I bought it again and paid cash for it. And it's home. It feels like home, And
what more do you need? What more are you going to need?
You really don't need any more, I mean, everything I'm planning to do post RV is going to be the law firm. It's going to be across the street. There's a couple houses over here. I've got plans for them. There's a house over here, Cattywampus. I got plans for it. And, I was telling some of my family, I was going to say, I plan on doing this. And I was told, well, that house ain't for sale. And I said, you don't understand.
You will
don't
be.
understand, okay? Okay, everything's for sale. Okay, you get that? Everything's for sale. If you got the money, then everything's for sale. Yes, Robin King. Any news from Mr. Kent Dunn? Just asking. Yes, Robin. Kent, I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he's very, very busy. I guess when he gets done, he has time to eat, maybe take a nap and go back up. If everybody could turn the volume up on their microphones, Jerry's having
I turned up as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm as loud as I can be. Everybody else can hear me fine. So
and move your computer closer.
Move the speakers closer. That's what you got to do.
Or plug in some headphones. Okay. Jerry says he can't hear Debbie or Brian.
I'll speak louder.
Debbie, we'll get you a megaphone.
I know
I don't need it. I can talk loud. Can they hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I don't know, Brian. You're just going to be here to help everybody. That's what you're going to do.
We need your help, Brian. We need your help.
Yeah, we need your help.
Okay, Mr. Data asks, any comment on Judy Notes? I don't listen to Judy. Did our recap say, isn't that who that is? Is that Judy?
Judy Byington is
Judy Byington. That's Mitt Romney's sister. Okay,
I don't even trust anybody.
You can't even get any closer to cabal than that.
That's true.
You can't. I mean, holy cow!
Lord.
Let's just get Biden and his girlfriend on here.
I think we found a reason why Jerry can't hear us.
Why is that?
What a hearing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have earbuds in.
Oh,
That
I
makes
am-
sense.
I am hard of hearing. Oh my God.
don't pay attention to any of the psyops. I swear to God, you're going to drive yourselves bonkers if you keep
Oh, there's a bunch
feeding
of.
the
Somebody
engine.
said they wanted me to. Yeah, I'll tell you about W4 here in a minute, Pamela. Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you right now. Psyops, yes. Aliens, Mall, Florida. Oh, guys, that was the worst blue beam thing I ever seen. Judy notes many of the currencies bloated into the banks and the ATMs were 1/1/24. That did not happen. Any update on this? Yes. Don't listen to Judy Byington. She's wrong. Okay, it's misinformation. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
And
Lord.
you can see Judy Byington on YouTube. If you want to see how nutty this woman is, she's on an old Jerry Springer rerun on. Yeah, okay. Ask me the question one more time, Bernadette. Judy Byington is on a Jerry Springer rerun on YouTube. So watch that. Okay. Yeah. Let's Bernadette. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you answer this, Chance.
Okay. Yeah, she is.
His sister.
She is. And somebody also says, what's his name? The governor of Illinois, Prickard. What's his name? I can't remember. Somebody give me the name of the Illinois governor.
It doesn't matter. That's just like saying half of these actors and politicians are when you find out they're not Rothschilds, they'll say, "Oh, I'm not related to Rothschild, or I'm not related to the Browns or Rockefellers." It's the same BS. You are getting what you deserve, which is the illusion.
Right.
Don't feed that engine, that third dimensional jargon BSness any more of your time and energy. It isn't anything positive. It is bland. It is broad. There is nothing transitional within the language. Pay attention to the language. Really dive deep. Pay attention to the wording.
Right.
It's all scripted to keep you in a perpetual loop.
It's a magic spell.
It's a false. Yeah, that's really what it is. That's all it is.
Okay, and as far as the countdown on the Q official, first of all, I checked on that today, Bernadette, and we're not even sure that the official Q clock is the official Q clock, okay? Because I did a deep dive on the debt clock, and the guy that owns that is just a regular executive guy in California, and he's just putting this stuff up there. I guess it's predictions more than it is anything else. Maybe he's got a pay site and he gets 30 cents for every click or something. I don't know. The Q clock is not designated as official as of yet. So we can't tell if there's anything to do with that. It says an official Q clock on it. That's nice. I could have my name say Batman up here instead of Chance McFadden. Okay.
So, but there's something interesting about the debt clock. So if you've noticed, there's a huge amount of transparency within it and within the language.
Oh, yeah.
So you really have to pay attention to it carefully. And I will say that's controlled opposition. That is taken over by the supposed good guys. So there is a transparent revealing within that system. So they want to get you to break away from that matrix, which is why they're giving you 2 points of attention right now. So they're going to continue to do that. And again, that is controlled opposition. So I would even dare to say that's in the, white hat control mechanism. So,
well, yeah, I would guess that too.
So
Brian,
attention. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say.
Well, I kind of forgot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have interrupted.
No, that's okay.
I get so excited when people get a conversation going. I have to get my big mouth in there somewhere, you know.
Well, did you happen to see that movie that they came out with Julia Roberts and all those guys about the end of the world and Armageddon and everything, what it really meant? And now the guy who goes back and does the soundtracks. Doc, do you know anything about this? They did the soundtracks. Usually
Yes.
there's one. Okay, go ahead, Chance. There's one.
There's
and
one
they
audio
go-
and one video, and there's two other frequencies on there on the audio end of it. And I found that very, very interesting. And if you've got a trained ear, you can hear it. Okay. I have a trained ear, and I listened to a couple of few minutes of it, and somebody doing an expose on it, and I could tell there was something else there. So what it is, it's a programming mechanism. Okay. And it mentions 3D to 4D. That's interesting that they talk about that, because I'm going to give you my perspective. Brian, I'd like to hear your perspective after this, and Debbie's too, and Doc's. I'd like to hear everybody's perspective on this, because when we go into 4D, it's not going to be like Ascension into heaven. It's not going to be like the Ascension. You are going to be vibrating and operating in an entirely different frequency, in an entirely different vibration. And you will be able to communicate with people in 3D on this transitional world, but they will not be able to understand you, because you're working at such higher vibration. It's not the Ascension. We're not going to ascend up and we're going to be in another Earth that's 4D or 5D. I don't get that. That doesn't make it with me, okay? Because I want to help. If I am 5D, I want to help the people that got left behind, because they're all going to be friends and family of mine, and the animals. I want to help the animals. And yes, there will be an EBS. How soon? It's been tested. The EBS was tested in Washington last weekend. Did you know that, Brian?
No, because I don't pay attention to any of the news.
Neither do I.
Okay. Well, this wasn't news. You couldn't get this on. And Australia has had the 3D emergency broadcast system tested over there, and they got to see a inkling of it. Okay. TG reported U.S. base in Iraq being attacked. Yeah, that's right. Top military U.S. leadership in Iraq have been killed. Any information? Yeah, I heard that, and I believe it's true. But I also believe they want us out of there, because they cannot be a sovereign nation with us looking over their shoulder and patting them on the back and saying, now you need to do this. Now, you got to remember one thing about the Iraqis that I've told you before, and I'm going to say it again. There's some very intelligent and very kind and very warm, loving Iraqi citizens. But as far as the politicians and the people that are considered the movers and shakers, they're like the Ferengi on Star Trek, okay? They're like children. They don't understand process. They don't understand going from point A to point B. If they go from point A to point B on any subject, and Joe Schmo over here, the Iraqi guy, he's saying, okay, let's do that, but let's add a capital T instead of a little t. And they all think that's a wonderful thing, and they have a party, and they take 3 days off and have a vacation. This is like dealing with the Ferengis, okay? Leave the world behind. Husband is watching a Fast and Furious movie. Oh, my God. Fast and Furious. And the one scene is bad people hacking into self-driving cars to stop an official to get nuke codes. Cars controlled with and without drivers. Talk about in your face. Yeah, it is in your face. But let me talk to you about nuclear weapons, okay? This is something I know about. Okay. The reason I know about it is I got a friend of mine who's an ambassador, and he has told me, Chance, we had nuclear weapons, but when they built them, the technology was, compared to today, is prehistoric. And all the silos have nuclear weapons in them that cannot be detonated. Why can't they be detonated? Why can't the nuclear what's the case? They call it nuclear football. Is that what they call it, Brian?
Yeah, but that's pure and simple. Again, the game board is fully controlled. ETs will make them inoperable. They'll turn them to duds instantaneously. So
right. And I know
they
Ken has said that they've done stuff like that before, but
keep doing it.
right. But here's the
Because
thing: when they were built, they were used 18 gauge speaker wire. 18 gauge wire. You know what that is? That's a lamp cable. They connected all the connections, not digitally with chips or anything like that. They made all the connections with 18 gauge copper speaker wire. The insulation on an 18 gauge wire is such that it only gives a lifespan of 5 years to that wire. That's what we use when we play in a band. We use 18 gauge speaker wire.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could go in there and flip all the buttons on the nuclear football all you want, but they're not going to go anything. It's going to go like this. Okay? That's it. Because they're non-functional. And I'm not even certain that nuclear weapons were ever a real thing to begin with. Who knows?
Oh, they were. And one of them was used because Australia is a living proof of the landscape where
I could get that.
300 years of radiation, desolate in that one particular area where they did test it. That was
that was the Aborigines, right?
Yes, but the planet didn't like it. So that's when a clarion call went out for aid, because it would have been bad if they would have kept doing it. But to answer the question, if you're done on the transition, no one's moving anywhere. If you are a carbon, and I'll repeat this again for all our new viewers. You are Truman now. You're a Truman in your own Truman Show. So because you're Truman in your own show, you get to see all of the 3D. You get to process all the 3D as an observer. And when you get to the end of your script, that black void, that doorway, is for one person only.
Right.
That is how transition works. You exit and you just walk in. It is like a near instantaneous, dreamlike state where that's how it works. And everyone else, it doesn't matter. Friends, family, animals. If Source, which Source has said, all of it goes. That means all 3D goes. And as the creators of the new realm, and I'm going to be clear about this, the creators of the new realm, any and all ideas that you wish to hold will be on the other side. They will be there waiting for you to play once again in a higher reality, in a higher realm. And the only difference is you have to relearn to navigate with your switches on, because you will hear things. It could be very comical. It could be very frightening, but you're going to witness all of it because the switches will be on and active, and you're still going to play with language until at some point you're going to not necessarily use language the way that you thought you would be using it. It'll be more of a hobby. because you won't necessarily have to talk. You could just zip file exactly what you feel as an expression, send it to the person next to you, and then they'll get it. They'll just unzip it quickly, and then it'll be like a paragraph condensed into a sentence. And that's how it works. So yeah, please, if you have never seen the Truman Show, watch it, but know it's you. You're the only one that's going to walk through that door. Everything else you leave behind, or you don't, and you go with them. Yeah.
Yeah, the Truman Show is a real eye-awakening operation there, and everybody needs to watch it. If you've been watching The Matrix and you understand the Matrix series, then the other side of that is the Truman Show, and if you haven't seen it with Jim Carrey, then you need to see it, because I'm telling you what, your whole sense of reality, and also the expression that gets used all the time on the internet, behind the scenes. Okay, you're always hearing that. Somebody's always saying, well, this is going on behind the scenes, and behind the scenes this, and behind the scenes that. Well, guess what? They show you the behind the scenes, because you got Truman's life, and then you got behind the scenes, okay? And if you want to know how our matrix works, guess what? It's all tied together. It's all tied together, okay? Mickey, you didn't make the woo-woo sound when I say okay. Okay. He was making. No, I don't want you to. No. He was busting my chops the other day when I was. He says, "You're always saying okay after you say something," and I know who I got that from. I got that from Drake Bailey. He used to. Him and I used to have conversations, and he'd always end it with "okay," like you understand, And I guess I picked that up from him. But anyway. Drake has seemed to gone off of the truther scene, and we hope Kent Dunn comes back and joins us sometime. We sure miss you, brother Kent. I know you got a lot of things going on. The difference between 4D and 5D. Brian, you want to address that?
Well, the difference between 4D, you still have politicians with a semi-showboating aspect till they get rid of. So you have a lot of like worthless ideas that the collective still has to work out, which is reality TV. That's one. That all goes away. Toxic drama, self destruction, life TV also, such as people are overweight that want your sympathy and want you to watch them so you can feed, again, a different system of energy. And it's still loosh, just so you know. It's still loosh. It's just a different type of loosh with a different type of entity that feeds off of kind of like your 7 deadly sins, right? Gluttony. There are tons of entities that reflect gluttony, and they're all about feeding in those types of despair. So, yeah, political jargon, news, a lot of your news will go away. A lot of it. It'll all be artificially telling, as in weather forecasts, or whether or not they give you updates with weather manipulation, and because there is going to be forced, I would call terraforming in certain realms and certain locations to kind of like rebalance out. So you'll have a higher artificial support system that's going to help with humanity and be for humanity. And again, you'll have free energy. And this is just 4. 5D is actually a lot different. So 5D is more of a merging of certain realms that can share harmoniously with things that are kind of in your folklore. So it just means that you would probably get to see a lot of different races. That's the difference. And you will be more telepathic. You may use the human language less. You will be more interstellar. You do not use airplanes. You may have some type of levitating vehicle,
All
but
right.
traveling is through portals. You travel through gateways. You want to go to Japan, you just go to your nearest portal and it recalibrates and you walk through it and then you're in Japan. So there are no trains. You take portals and you take gateways. But by then there's a lot of people you will find that can just bilocate because that's part of their natural ability. So they don't need portals. You'll see people just appear. So, and things are lighter and they're like exponentially faster. So, and the schooling is also different because it's so, well, Star Trek is but part of it, but there is a huge fantasy element to it too, because not everyone has the same DNA. And then you'll find that there are going to be guests that have a very unique DNA sequence where they can do things such as elemental manipulation. So where they can kind of control water, they can control fire. You'll think it's telekinesis, and I'll be like, no, because they're pulling it literally from the side of the elemental veil. And the elemental, and you, depending on your DNA, you could probably see the elementals, communicate with the elementals. And a lot of fifth dimensional beings do, but elementals don't really get along with a lot of people because of how you've kind of destroyed a lot of the forest, which affects their realm also. So because the trees have more than one body. So if you're going to, and that's, I probably should make aware, if you're going to build homes, find a specialist that can communicate with nature and see if you can make a deal without cutting trees. Oh, and you won't be cutting trees. You'll be using industrial sized replicators in 4D, and you will be using them also. That's pretty much a standard in 5D also. So we don't like destroy nature, and you'll most likely live above ground on gravitating plates if there's huge forests, just so that way you don't interfere with nature. And nature still exists, and nature has it's shorter cycle, even in 5D. So there are a lot of similarities between 3, 4, and 5 that kind of like show itself. But yeah, that's kind of like how it is.
Well, I always heard that the Hilton, if you went to a certain Hilton hotel, you go on a certain floor and you could go to France. So I don't know if that was true or not. So I don't know exactly where that was. You could go up to one, they have a lock key, you go up to another area and you go directly there. So there's some sort of a portal somewhere.
Oh yeah, there were government officials that would go to certain locations and they can unlock the door, go in, they would be on the moon. Yep.
Well, it'd sure stop a lot of hassle. You wouldn't have to take a lot of clothes with you or anything like that if you wanted to travel. I like that part. Definitely.
Yeah.
Get in my Jetson mobile and go, go, go. That's what I want to do.
Well, listen. I want to add. This is a time where we got to pay the bills, okay, guys? So you see that Assist Advance, okay? I use 10 drops in the morning, 10 drops at night. So does my son. It's a plant-based sulfacant. Okay, it's a wellness brand. You wake up in the morning, you got brain fog, this will do it. You got digestion problems, this will do it. And when you order from www.immunesystadvance.com, when you order from there, you give them the code
Get up there.
Advance with Chance, and you will get $5 off per bottle. Now, if you order 5 bottles, that means $5 off each bottle, not $5 off the order. Okay, so it's good stuff. Dr. William Mount was telling me about it for years. Kent Dunn has told us about it for years. It's a very high quality product. We appreciate Immune-Assist Advanced support with HamiltonRadio.net and with the show. So thank you. And this is highly recommended by somebody who uses the product every day. Okay. Now, Debbie with APL Go, who's our investigative reporter down there in the corner right there, she has got a bunch of products. APL Go is a lozenge that's charged with Tesla negative energy, and it tastes like candy. You put it in your mouth, you suck on it, and you let it go to work. And I'm telling you, it works. The stuff works. It's the only thing that's keeping me going today, by the way, Debbie, because Debbie sent me some STP and some RLX.
Oh, you got the box. Good.
Yeah, I got the box today.
Yeah.
STD. I've been taking it because I've got a very bad right hip for some reason. That maybe it has something to do with I'm old or some crap like that, you know.
Ascension. It has a lot to do with Ascension too. Yeah, definitely. And everybody needs to start taking this of some form for the fact that it has the Tesla technology, the negative ions, getting ready to take and go into the celestial beds, such as med beds. But you need the light energy. You've got to detox because they have put all of the nanoparticles all over our food. And even though we try, it's all there. It's all there all the time. So it's detox, detox, detox. So there's many different things that you can take. There's small packages, there's big packages, but I'm just telling you, you've got to get the light into your body. You've got to detox. And so this product, there's many different products. Doc, I gave you that, so possibly, I don't know if you can bring it up or not, but that LMS, that is immunity, that's a vitamin basically, but that'll get you started. You could also take that with some other products also to take and do a detox. That'll be a light detox, but then you've got your metabolic package that will definitely take and get you started and get you detoxed. And from everything, you know, even though you try, like I say, with all the foods, organic or whatever, even grow it, they're still gonna, your food's still gonna get dusted no matter what. Right. Hopefully that ends. They have enough food underground that can supply us for years. Hopefully they'll be bringing that up after we get that. We've got a lot of solar flashes that have happened this week, and we haven't got them all yet, but a lot of people are having definitely a lot of aches and pains, especially in the hip, like you. Chance, I even had it this week. I got up and went, what hit me? I was just laying in bed and I'm like, whoa, what happened here? So I got up, took my lozenges, got better. But, you know, there's a lot of things that I know you say you don't have the money to do it, but if you start slowly, you can get there. So like I say, it's a DNA product. So.
And the other thing is when you use the Immune-Assist Advance in addition to the APL Go products, you're getting everything supercharged. Okay.
Right. Because, you can take it all.
Yeah. Take it together, you know, and the gut health is very, very important. And that's what Immune-Assist Advance, and then the Tesla technology of the negative charged ions is going to go directly to whatever you're having problems with. Now, Debbie, I got in this afternoon, my hip and everything was just killing me. I immediately took 2 stop and
slide.
Yeah, and then one relax.
Yeah.
And then I took 2 more stops, and it's just now wearing off. So
Yeah.
I'll have to probably have to take some so I can go to bed tonight.
Take another
But,
relax
thank you,
so you
Robin.
can go to bed. Yeah.
Right, and I can sleep on that side without the pain killing me.
I know.
But this is the great thing about these products, guys. Okay, the med beds are coming, and you're going to get yourself ready for them.
Yep.
And these products will help you get ready. And and Doc uses them.
My wife's
Brian,
RLX.
are you
She's
using-
stealing my RLX all the time. I can't even get them. She's stealing them.
Brian, are you using the APL Go products?
It's hit or miss because I'm pulling from the ether. So,
Right.
like, again, my DNA is actually very different from everyone else's. So
Right.
in enough light to where
Mm-hmm.
I make some of them don't work. I do take the one that's for detoxing, and that is pretty much the only one that's helping me right now while I sleep. So
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Kent Dunn is he gets it doesn't work on him because he's got the same situation as you, Brian, a little bit different DNA, but Dawn is having a wonderful time with the HPY, and Kent is always saying happy wife, happy life, and so we always get a kick out of that because boy, he just smiles from ear to ear when he holds that box up, Yeah, you got to get back here. We miss you. It's not the
Definitely.
same without you.
Everybody wants a update on Megan.
Yes, Megan is in the playpen. I have a playpen that I put her in, and she is back to eating regular dog food, and she's loving it, by the way. Now, I'm going to break out my last thing of Raw Origins.pet raw dog food, and when is the 1-to-1 coming? Pretty darn quick, Mr. Data. I can't give dates and I can't give rates, but I'm going to tell you, you need to do this. Megan is doing good. Looks really strange. She's got an ear missing, and they shaved her in all kinds of different places so they could have surgery on her. But her hair is starting to grow back. She is spoiled rotten. Okay, how does Brian know that he's pulling from the ether? He's an angelic.
but we're all in the ether. It's all source. Think of like the unlimited mind. If you're a representative of the creator, you're all, it's like you're a part of the idea. So there is no, and plus, if you understand science, everything's energy, anyways. It's just solidified in matter. So
Right.
that energy, it's the ether. So
Like,
you pull everything from there, whatever you need.
right. Like Kent Dunn always said, we're hard holograms.
Yes.
And so we're in the matrix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carbon holograms. We're carbon.
Yeah. Right. Oh, as far as you think the EBS, this thing's ready to go. Okay. The recreational vehicle thing is ready to go. We're getting more thing. Just sit back and let it happen. And when it happens, just be cool. Okay. And don't go out and brag to people because it's going to get yanked back from you if it does, if you do. Okay. Now, I will be giving a live at 5 on Tuesday afternoon on Facebook. I'll also be doing a Sunday 2 o'clock live on Facebook on my page, on my Chance McFadden page. You're all welcome to stop in and see that. I bring you the up to the dates because things are moving so fast we can hardly keep up with everything. Okay. We have. I've actually gotten so much information this week. It has been overwhelming, and in fact, it has just about knocked me on my butt. I've gotten so much information, and everybody says, "Well, I want to know." Yeah, Mr. Data, it'll be within the next 6 weeks. I'm certain of that, but I'll be surprised if it's not in the next 6 days. Okay, I'm getting everything ready. Okay, Now I'm in two different groups. I'm in two different humanitarian groups. So I'm probably going to get called a few days before you guys will. And I don't really want to go to Reno, but if I go, I guess I'll have to make that decision. But 7,000 redemption centers, and we got so many hundreds of thousands of people go through in the United States alone. It's going to make for an interesting exchange. It's going to make for an interesting transition. And we can't tell you everything. The only thing I can tell you is get ready, get your trust together. If you need a trust, contact me at 319-561-0064. If you get two trusts, the irrevocable and the revocable trust, I can give you a code that'll get you $1,000 off both trusts. It's a special limited time. Special limited time because we are at the end game. You are going to need this. Why are you going to need it? I'm going to tell you. During the transitional period between 3 and 4D, during the transitional period of the corporation and the republic, and during the transitional period of let's go Brandon and Mr. T, then you're going to have a lot of transition going on. And the transitions mean the bad guys always seem to come out of the woodwork. And they can come in the prettiest of packages. And so what you need is to be protected. That's why you need the trust. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. 2 years down the road, you probably won't need the trust because the quantum will be so efficient. But during this transitional period, we got to keep people out of your business, okay? And that's what we're going to do. It's going to be a irrevocable or a revocable trust. I've had 8 years of trust law, and I was overwhelmed with it. And then finally one day it all clicked, and I told the instructor, I said, man, I've been coming here for 8 years every Sunday like a religion. And thank you, Robin. And I said, why didn't you just explain it in the simplest of terms? He says, because everybody's got questions. I said, no, it's easy. And I just explained to him the A, B, C, D, E, F, G of a trust. And he goes, then why did you keep coming to the classes if you got it already? And I said, because I like hanging out with you guys. You're all cool. You know, we got, you know, it's like a big party every Sunday. Hey, I got to go hang out with the guys. You know, it's a brotherhood. It's you know, and a sisterhood. And it was just, I enjoyed going to those classes with those people. And, you know, we always had something to joke about. We always had good things to say about each other. And we all grieved together when one of the people in the group died. So, yeah, it was a fellowship. It's a fellowship. But trust law isn't that hard. Okay. And when the Republic is completely 100% installed and the quantum has been up for a couple of years, there's probably not going to be any need for trust. And it probably, my guess, there probably won't be any corporations either because who was it that sold us down the river in 1871 that made trusts, or not trust, but corporations legal? Grover Cleveland.
Yeah. The corporations are going to go away.
Yeah. And, you know, and that we don't need them, you know. Okay.
Yes, they will call and email you.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We don't know when this thing's going to go. We don't know when because Debbie and I were talking about this afternoon, and she told me, she says, well, it's going to go by zip code. And I said, well, I thought it was going to be, I didn't think zip code, but I thought it was going to go according to the 12 different locations of the Federal Reserve, you know, the Corporation Federal Reserve buildings. And I thought that's how they had separated a lot of the United States. Kent Dunn is absolutely correct in the fact that there is going to be a North American Union where Mexico, Canada, United States, and Australia are all going to be considered to be the same under one flag. I'm not sure about Puerto Rico.
I think they grabbed Mexico too. For
Yeah,
some reason.
Mexico's
Yeah.
in the North American Union.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's important because all these countries have capitulated with Mr. T. They've all capitulated and they've all agreed to this, okay, to the Nassau. And it has been rolling out slowly. And here's some news that all the senior citizens have been interested in. I got people that I know personally, and I have emailed back and forth. They've sent me copies of their Social Security checks that were in excess of $4,000 to $5,000. I've seen the checks. I can't share them with you because it's got their private information on it. But I've seen the checks, and I think they are all coming out this month. Some people will get less, some people will get more. I don't know what they're determining on that. But this is very, very, very important. This next thing I'm going to tell you, because when the Republic is initiated, fully funded, and everything is rocking Mr. T's back, what's going to happen is you are going to be working a job at the car wash or the restaurant, wherever you work. You know, if you're not retired, you're going to be working a job somewhere, and you will get universal basic income to go along. Basically, it's a pat on the back saying, good job. Here's an extra $1,200 for you every month. You keep that job, you'll get that extra $1,200 a month. Okay. Now, if you're a handicapped senior citizen, that's going to be $7,000 a month. If you're not a handicapped senior citizen, it's going to be $5,000 a month. Okay. This stuff's already set in stone. Okay. I've heard about this on the Treasury calls because I have set in on some Treasury calls. Yeah, I know. Mine did too, Nancy.
Mine did too.
Yeah,
but even
I haven't seen anything. But
I also saw. Oh, I'm sorry, Chance.
No. Did you say you heard somebody got some, Brian?
No, but I mean, reading that, it also said even if you're not working, you would still receive $1,200.
Stop it.
Oh,
Yes.
Was it? Because I was under the understanding that you had to have a job to get it.
Well, part of it. So basically, this to restabilize the economy. We all know that 1,200 isn't, depending on your location and where you're at. You can't live, off of that. It's just more of a stabilizer, right? So
right.
It wouldn't. From what I read, even when you sent me, it said even if you're not working, you will still get 1,200. So, in order for a transition to be balanced out, it kind of has to be all across the board. They can't have any kind of stragglers, kind of like going down and not benefiting from the newer system. So
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
It's going to help them get ahead.
It's going to help, but again, you can't. You're still going to need something unless you've already have been in this circle to where you've already have your banknotes, you have a Wise account, you've been paying attention, even with certain cryptos within the digital future standard economy. Then you're going to need something in the end. So don't think that you're going to be able to be laid back and kind of like kick your shoes off unless, again, you've paid attention and do take even your small funds to invest in whatever digitalities you can, just so you can have that flexible future. But if you do nothing and you're only paying attention to what we're saying, again, your journey's your own, so you can't complain. So
Yeah, and there's so many people that I've tried telling this to, and they just look at me like I'm speaking a foreign language. And
That's
so
okay.
that proves to me they're not supposed to be involved in this. That's what it proves to me.
Also, someone in the comments wanted to know how they can pay after they get the money, how they will be able to give some of their wealth to their people that they want to help, such as a family member or whatever. What
you
you're
just
going
don't
to
do
do?
it right away.
Yeah, you can't do it right away. You're gonna have to wait the 3 months. But you'll also have a bank account that you're going to put it in. You're also going to have your everyday bank account that they're going to say, okay, how much do you need, to get by for that month? Okay, so you're going to have that. Then you're going to have your quantum account, and you're going to get that special card with it. And so you're going to have that, and that's what you're going to be able to use for your trust. So they're going to ask you that, and that's what you're going to be setting up. And a lot of this is going to be done with Wells Fargo because they have existed since 1871, I think, that they've been around.
And it's been
A long time. They've been a long time.
Right. So that's what, is going to happen, there. So, that's, you're just going to go in and you're going to ask those people when they call, you're going to write the notes down and what you need to ask them. So somebody said about a concierge card, possibly like a black American Express card that we possibly will be getting. That's to help out with going on airplanes and travel because you're going to be special. So you'll be able to get somewhere, and have a place to stay. I don't know whether that's true or not. I don't.
Yeah, that's part of the perks package. Yeah, you'll get that. Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I haven't talked about that. The W-4 is also part of the prosperity packages. So everybody that filed the W-4s, they'll be seeing results 2 to 3 months after the republic is reinstated, and then they'll start getting funds from their W-4 submissions. So that it's just like we got a buddy in the group. His name's Moses. I love you, Moses. He's a good dude, and I think he did over 700 W-4 applications. So he'll be sitting pretty good. Wow! When I heard that, I just about fell over 700 submissions. Wow!
I think I did 100, maybe.
Is it unlimited? You can do unlimited, or do you do whatever?
Does anybody have any questions? Anybody want to call in? Doc, you want to put the call in number?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. I got it up.
Don't worry about the IRS. The IRS is still going to do whatever it's present for whatever remaining time. So you're witnessing basically whatever's left of the third dimensional loop of black, right? So it behooves you to kind of pay attention to either ignore it or to just play the games. Will you get the money back? All I can say is whatever is taken will be mirrored and returned. I'm going to repeat it again. Whatever is taken from this world of take and, scams will be returned because they are controlled opposition. I have been scammed with a fake Ledger regrowth lobster wallet. Those ideas, just like so many other people that have been scammed, you will get a return far greater because of what was taken. They have all the data. There's no way to hide it. There's no way to remove it. It's all coded. Many people keep forgetting and think that you have a sentient third dimensional artificial intelligence operating alone, which isn't true. You have two that are for humanity. And you have a fourth dimensional artificial overlapping and running in parallel with the third dimension. So you have to have all these processes to facilitate a holographic society. That's how it works. It's hard to process and even fathom the scope of how life really works, but it doesn't really have to be complicated. So just whatever, again, is left of the mechanisms, just forget about it. Just put it out of your mind and look forward to something different.
Well, they also said that we could possibly, now I don't know whether this is true or not, that if your family, everything that they paid in or was taken away from them, they've kept records for years, and so you could possibly get that back also. So
That's right.
Oh my gosh. So I'm going to show you this. My husband just showed me this of the Alaskan airplane that has duct tape all over it.
That's duct tape. That's duct tape.
That's a lot of duct tape.
Well, I think maybe that was. I think that's probably, that I don't know if that's true or not, but no. Okay, the rest of it. Okay, there's the roll that they say that they used.
One roll on the whole plane or a couple rolls?
I don't know, but I think that was probably a joke.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably.
Oh my God.
Well,
Yeah,
I love the
I
farmer.
don't think anybody would go in that plane if they knew it was duct taped.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And also the German farmers. Germany's just
They're not
those
playing.
tractors aren't going to be leaving anywhere soon. And Poland has joined in now also.
The companies are losing millions of dollars a day because people can't go to work. People are like, you know what? I kind of like what they're preaching. I'm going to join in. So there's a huge stagnation there, which is
I think it's great.
And we should be
Absolutely.
doing that here, honestly, in so many ways. And I just mean from a political standpoint. You just calmly ask them, please leave the government buildings, or we'll just kind of drag you out and we'll take and empty all your file folders out in the street, throw their laptops out of the building, say, there we go. And you'd be like, you're fired. That would be phenomenal.
If we could just do that over in the States here, I think it'd go a lot faster.
It would go a lot faster.
Somebody asked a question about will there be retribution for people that took chemotherapy? No, but yes, but it won't be financial. It'll be a thing called the med bed. You will be put in a med bed, and you will reap the rewards of having good health and living up to 1,500 years. So if you don't know about the med beds, I would suggest you look up Sky. She is an Australian young lady, and she is working with the White Hats specifically on the med beds. And according to Mr. Kent Dunn, there are 83,200 med beds ready to go when the Republic is funded. They're supposed to be at every army base, every major hospital, and every military base. So let's just pray this thing goes quick. I just don't really even see any delay. Somebody wanted me to read the recreational vehicle update one more time, so I'm going to do that. And here it is. Yesterday morning, RC leaders and managers, banks, and at least one area throughout the United States, they entered their access codes and sent them to the Treasury. And that was around 11:30 noon. So the banks and RCs, the bank leaders, all managers, all put in their codes, and they all need to be given the green light to proceed. and send emails out to us, we the people, at the T4B level to arrange our appointments and our exchanges. That's how they are done. And now it's up to the Treasury to give the green light. That's where we are now. The money is in the banks, waiting to be dispersed, and we move on to bondholders. Some have received emails, and some are still waiting for emails. I think most of them, I think most should have them tonight for access to your accounts and access 10% of the rating and the remaining 90% in 90 days. And that information comes to us by way of Carlos Peters. And it was vetted by General Steve. After I got it, I called General Steve. General Steve says, yep. He says, it's already out. So he says, I can't deny it. This is the process. So things are moving. I'm going to be sending out, hello from India. Rakesh, how are you? I'm going to be sending out 800 numbers to everybody in our group, and anybody that asked to be put on the list. I've probably got 3,000 people I've got to send those numbers out to. Yeah, Brian, what you have a question, Rakesh? You want to ask?
Speak, Brian, speak.
Okay, I guess they want some Interstellar news. So, as you heard Chance say that Kent got to visit the Kings, and that's pretty much it on that. However, there's a lot going on in Antarctica. There's been a lot of meetings between government officials, and I do mean many. I'm not going to say where, their location. There are a race of Etorthans, which are a large type of gray that have been here the last couple of weeks. They're trying to do audits within the Federation. Many Federation counterparts, because again, it's very large. They are saying hard pass. They don't want an audit. They don't really want to deal with them. There's been a petition to go to the higher council of the Federation also, because there's a lot of things that haven't been making sense. There's a lot of things that they found ethically wrong, and they want it to stop and change over to someone who represents humanity. So if you do not think there's no drama from up above, there's quite a bit. Now, Michael and Gabriel and the archangels and the other angelics are also working very tirelessly. We are behind the scenes, including myself from, I would say, the future that's here, because I'm quite drained, because I'm also here doing auditing features, are looking in and kind of like invisible to a lot of the beings in Antarctica and in other locations. And we are preparing a new opportunity. So to let you know, all you dark hats or pretenders, even if you are a part of the good group pretending to be good, we have contracted with the fairy men and women of the underworld or underworlds. And when you decide, so you will get an opportunity to feel an idea, which is only one chance. And if you decide to go through with it, you're gonna be taken on one of those boats to a very special place, to where you will have to pay penance for a very, very long time. And this is their word from the archangels. They're saying, you're not going to have the opportunity to change any ideas that they have for the current game board. And this also includes the Federation members. They've also talked with the Kings, and the Kings are definitely agree with a lot of it, but they're also working hand in hand. So they're not. No one is that. There's no hiding anything. Again, if you can't hide from anyone, just as I can't hide from anyone, even though I'm here in a room alone. If someone or some being, whether light or dark, wants to see you, interact with you, they'll do it. So you kind of have to learn that you're truly never alone. You really don't have any privacy. You like to think you have privacy, but you don't.
Yeah.
You just see any of it, or you can't feel any of those other things that are literally there on a slightly different vibration or a higher vibration watching you. And the sooner you learn that, you'll be more comfortable accepting that, because I'm sure a lot of people would be like, oh God, really? I have to worry about someone peering at me in the bathroom? I'm like, trust me, just get over it. Just be happy you don't have some type of trickster stealing your toilet paper. So yeah, that would be the worst thing ever.
They wrote a song about that years ago. It was called "Stranded on the Toilet Bowl." What do you do when you're stranded and there's no paper on the roll? To prove you're a man, you must wipe with your hand when you're stranded on the toilet bowl.
No chance, no.
Oh,
So, on another
Any thoughts, Debbie? Any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts? Well, what about everybody in New York that they took the kids out of the school? And I've got a different spin on that. They took the kids out of school. Maybe that was for a reason. Maybe they decided to homeschool the kids, getting them prepped, ready to go for that. Or, I know that those people have no homes right now, but I just don't know. It's pretty ruthless that they would, they're going to get rid of the schools anyway. So, maybe just use them for the housing for the time being. Heck, I don't know.
That's not a good idea.
Yeah, but when the homeless people were out there, they never used the school for
Look,
them. So what's the difference? They're paying taxes for the school.
Well, when the corporation,
Debbie, don't get me started.
Oh, don't get me started. Oh, we can go on and on about this. Oh, Lord. Those people get $5,000, and they drive a car where those homeless people have grocery carts, everything else. And
we're just like trying to survive, really.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
I mean, really, literally just trying to survive.
I know.
But New York has a separate underworld. Like, you have no idea.
Oh yeah.
No, you're right about that.
And so they could be just removing, because if they find, secret tunnels, and a lot of these buildings have tons and tons of
School.
secret.
That's what I said. Yeah, you might be right about that.
Oh yeah.
They just want to precautionary tale.
What about that Jewish sect that they took down the wall and they found the rats? Oh, big rats. Yeah, the big rats. Yeah. And then they slithered out of the grates. And oh my gosh, I just absolutely couldn't believe that guy. And I looked at it again. And there's one guy that just literally ran away. Then they never showed this picture again where the fire department guys were trying to help the guy. He went under a cement embankment and he just slid back in it. And I'm like, oh, a demonic demon. Demons. Oh.
Hey, I got to ask you guys, starting with Brian, you got any final thoughts tonight, Brian?
for the love of God, stop paying attention to
Yeah.
all, or actually, better yet, question. This is actually a better way to word it. Please question whether it's a psyops or not, and it's worth your time and energy to invest in it.
Right.
You're going to realize this year, with all the toroidal fields and solar flares, including induced stellar ship solar flares, which they can produce solar flares and just bombard the planet, if it's worth your energy, your time and energy and momentum. Because again, the show's not for you unless you want it to be for you, or just let it go and start focusing on the future now moment where you can produce actionary sequences that you wish to create. So use your creativity in dream time. That's it.
Yep. Have those really wonderful dreams.
As far as doing this show every day, my wife would divorce me. I'm sorry, I got to spend time with my wife. Chance, how do you feel about that? Everybody wants us to do a show every day.
Oh, wouldn't that be something? I'd be thin again. I wouldn't be able to make it to the refrigerator.
I think this is crazy. This is a crazy night, guys. This is
Hey, if you like the show, share the link, okay? Share the link and donate to keep the show alive. Cash App or Zelle. Information's over to the side. 319-561-0064. Brian McFadden, that's me. You can call me your friend and brother, Chance, okay? And Doc G, what about you? You got any final thoughts tonight, brother?
Oh boy, I've got so much going on. I'm doing the financial coaching. I'm working with a couple couples and waiting for them to either let me know they want me to do the financial coaching for them or not. But I'm also working on website design. I just found this new company I'm going to be working with, and we're going to be designing websites. We're going to be not charging for the setup fee like everybody else charges for a big setup fee, not charging for a setup fee. First 10 websites that we design, you don't even have to agree you like them. If you like them, you can just pay $50 a month and it's yours. And then we'll put anything you want in there. So it's really exciting because
Sign me up.
We're using AI to actually do it for us. So one website, guys, takes 30 seconds to build. One website takes 30 seconds to build.
Sign me up. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
I already got 3 offers tonight for 3 websites.
Wow.
Okay.
And literally all I have to do is take the information of where the person is, what the address is, the information of the business, and pop that in a Google search, have that go out there. And then what AI and I will do is go out and get all the information, and in 30 seconds create about a 7-page website, absolutely with everything on it that you want, including your name, your address, everything.
I got to call you tomorrow.
See what I mean, Debbie? That's the reaction I'm getting from everybody. Everybody wants one because they're tired of the Wix. They're tired of this. You can have your own domain. It's simple. It's easy. And I'm even building one for my wife for the children's books. So
cool.
We have a lot of great, exciting stuff going on, guys. So reach out to me. I'm glad to be here and be part of this show all the time. Believe me.
Cool.
I look forward to this.
Yep.
I do too.
Yep. I like to get the word out. I like to listen to what everybody has to say, but it's been great. Perry Mason, here we go.
So if you got any questions, comments, anything, you can get a hold of Doc G at Hamilton Radio, or you can email me at chancemusic@yahoo.com, okay? The reason I play the Perry Mason theme is because I'm a constitutional lawyer, and it just fits as the closing of the show. So I love you guys. I love you, Brian, Debbie, Doc G.
I love you too.
Good night.
Bye.
I love you.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
everybody.